In my previous life, my roommate was sleepwalking and trying to jump off the building. I pulled her back and woke her up. She survived, but lost her soul, becoming dazed and vacant. Her family pointed at me and scolded. "You can't wake someone who's sleepwalking. You owe her your life." They forced me to marry her brother to take care of the family, and spread rumors online that I had intentionally harmed her. Parents knelt to beg for reconciliation, offering money, hiring a nanny, and covering medical treatment, only to hear the words, "It's not enough." Insulting text messages never stopped, and threats continued day and night. In a scuffle, our family of 3 was hit and killed by a car. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the night she was about to jump from the building. A mournful, ethereal voice drifted in from the balcony. "My love, I've come to keep you company. This time." I pulled the quilt over my head and went back to sleep. Clang! The sound of the water dipper hitting the ground was especially harsh in the dead of night. I fumbled by the bed, pulled out the earplugs I had prepared for the civil service exam, and shoved them firmly into my ears. Lou Panner might be innocent, but I am selfish. I cannot risk my entire family just to save her. In this life, I choose to pretend to be asleep. My lord, wait for me. I will follow you in life and death, even through the earplugs. That mournful voice still seeped into my ears. My lord. The long note trembled unsteadily. I muttered to myself, "This dream is really full of drama." I couldn't help but pray that someone would hear or see someone jumping off the building and call for help. That way, I wouldn't be responsible, and my roommate wouldn't be in danger. After a while, Lou Panner started singing again. "When will the bright moon appear?" I raised my cup and asked the blue sky, "What does this song have to do with dying for love?" My mind was full of question marks. At this point in my previous life, I had already rescued her, completely unaware that there were so many more scenes ahead. Listening to the music leaking from my earbuds, occasionally accompanied by a few beats of percussion, I actually fell asleep. Perhaps, since Lou Panner's incident in my last life, I've suffered from long-term insomnia. Or perhaps it was a psychological suggestion telling me to sleep until this matter was completely over. When I opened my eyes again, it was already noon outside the window. I pulled open the bed curtain and saw that my 2 other roommates, Zheng Hui and Lin Qi, who had gone home for the weekend, were both there, comforting Lou Panner non-stop. Looking at Lou Panner, who was completely unharmed, I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. But a wave of complicated regret surged in my heart. It turns out, without my intervention, she really can be fine. What happened? My throat was so dry it hurt, and my voice was terribly hoarse. Awake. Zheng Hui turned her head, her brows furrowed tightly, her tone filled with undisguised reproach. "Jiang Mian, how could you sleep like a dead pig? Last night, Panner was sleepwalking and ended up sitting in the sink, completely soaked. If I hadn't come back early today, she would have definitely caught pneumonia." My throat was so dry it hurt, my voice hoarse. She was awake before I was. How would I know? You usually sleep so lightly I'd wake up if a needle dropped on the floor. Zheng Hui looked me up and down, her gaze sharp enough to cut me open. Could it be, you were pretending to be asleep on purpose? Her gaze reminded me of my past life, when everyone suspected I had deliberately awakened Lou Panner, who was sleepwalking. It was only because all 3 of us from our dorm had made it to the interview for the civil service position. But the position only hired 2 people. And there were 6 candidates in the interview. I ranked first in the written exam, while Lou Panner ranked last. Lin Qi is ranked 3rd. Even if I really wanted the spot, the one I'd harm would be Lin Qi. "Alright, Zheng Hui." Lin Qi interrupted her, looking at me with concern. "Can't you see Xiao Mian's voice is hoarse? She must have caught a cold too. Who knows if it's just an act. I think Panner is the one who caught a cold." Zheng Hui muttered softly. Lou Panner sobbed quietly, her fingers twisting the corner of the blanket. "It's not Xiao Mian's fault. I have sleepwalking issues. It's my own problem," I kindly reminded Lou Panner. "I think you'd better go see a doctor. In my previous life, Our entire family suffered an undeserved calamity because of her. But she didn't do it on purpose. I can't interact with her without any reservations. Nor do I want her to come to harm because of this. Do you think I'm sick? Lu Panna raised her head. Her eyes still red. But her gaze had turned cold. Are you trying to get me disqualified by claiming I'm sick? I was speechless, wondering why everyone thought I, the top student, should be wary of her. The last one. Don't you know that having a history of sleepwalking will get you disqualified? Zheng Hui spoke up for Lu Panna beside me. Looking at the two of them, I suddenly felt so unfamiliar. We had gotten along just fine for over 3 years. Yet because of last night when I fell asleep and left Lu Panna sitting in the pool all night, everything changed. They must harbor such great malice toward me, even in Lu Panna. I saw traces of her family's unreasonable behavior. I opened the balcony door and pointed to the location of the sink and the balcony railing. The school's balcony doesn't have security bars. If she had walked in the wrong spot last night, she could have fallen. This is the 8th floor, Zheng Hui said aggressively. You also know this is the 8th floor. And you slept so soundly yesterday, alone in the dorm. If Panna had an accident, wouldn't your conscience be troubled? I couldn't help but chuckle at this unreasonable argument, and the last bit of lingering camaraderie in my heart grew cold. First, I had a cold last night and went to bed early with earplugs. I can't control when I wake up while sleeping. Just as Lu Panna can't control her sleepwalking. Second, Lu Panna said on the first day of school that if she sleepwalks, we must never wake her up, or she'll lose her soul. That's why I suggested she see a doctor for treatment. If this happens again, even if one of us wakes up and discovers it, should we wake her or not? Is the civil service exam more important? Or is living more important? Lu Panna mentioned on the first day of her freshman year that she sleepwalks. She even specifically emphasized that she must never be woken up. We three were quite worried after hearing that. But Lu Panna only sleepwalks occasionally, once every 2 or 3 months. And even then, she just climbs up and down the stairs while holding onto them. After a long time, we got used to it. I said this specifically to remind Lu Panna to see a doctor, and also to subtly remind the other 2 roommates. After all, it was Lu Panna's family who harmed our entire family in the previous life. 2 of my roommates tried to explain, but with little effect. People only believe what the weak say. Of course it's awakening, Zheng Hui shouted without even thinking. If you've lost your soul, how can you summon it back? If you're already dead, what soul are we talking about? If it really comes to that, there's no time to think about all that. Lin Chi agreed. Lu Panna, who had been silent all along, suddenly looked up, her eyes brimming with tears as she gazed at me. It's all right, Xiao Mian. If there's truly a life-threatening danger, you must wake me up. Lu Panna, keep my word and will never blame you afterward. I couldn't say that you wouldn't blame us, but your family would. Such words without evidence sound like picking a fight, but this is something that truly happened in my previous life. I didn't continue to persuade further. I've already reminded you of everything I could. After tomorrow's graduation defense, we won't have any more intersections. Xiaomian, were you awake last night? Lu Panna suddenly looked up, tears still clinging to her eyelashes. Her face filled with disbelief. Did you pretend to be asleep, knowing I was about to die? Because you were afraid of having to take responsibility if you woke me up. My breath caught, and the blood in my veins seemed to freeze instantly. In my previous life, I risked my life to save her, only to be accused of intentional murder. I didn't do anything in my life, yet I've been directly upgraded to attempted intentional homicide. Before I could speak, Zheng Hui abruptly stood up, the chair legs scraping against the floor with a harsh sound. Jiang Mian. If you really saw it and didn't pull her up, what's the difference between that and murder? Xiaomian isn't that kind of person. Lin Chi frowned and interrupted, reaching out to pull Zheng Hui slightly, but she didn't look at me again, her gaze filled with a completely unfamiliar scrutiny. Xiaomian, did you really fall asleep last night? I didn't understand last life. Lin Chi and Zheng Hui had clearly believed I hadn't intentionally harmed Lu Panna. In this life, they instead try to harm me with the greatest malice. I reached out and took out my earplugs. I had a cold last night, and I couldn't hear anything with the earplugs in. My voice turned cold, and my entire face darkened. I took medicine and fell asleep. Do you need me to go to the hospital for a checkup to prove it? During my 4 years in college, don't you know what kind of person I am? I opened the drawer, took out the cold medicine box I had opened last time, and slammed it heavily on the table, producing a crisp sound upon impact. At that moment, I was grateful that my voice was hoarse from just waking up, which gave me the perfect excuse to use a cold as a cover. Zheng Hui was taken aback by my sudden coldness and harsh tone, her momentum weakening slightly, but she still refused to back down verbally. Who can't pretend to be sick now? Who knows if you're just trying to avoid responsibility? Enough. Zheng Hui. Lin Qi finally stopped her. Xiao Mian isn't that kind of person. Don't just assume. Lin Qi didn't say anything further, and Zheng Hui's expression turned grim. Because of what? I suddenly realized they were hiding something from me. This was different from the previous life. Because she cared too much about Panner and lost her composure. I don't believe Lin Qi's explanation at all. Alright. This matter isn't Xiao Mian's fault. I hope that if you see me in a life-threatening situation while you're awake, you'll definitely save me. Lu Panner looked at us pleadingly. Of course I will, Zheng Hui assured, patting her chest. Don't worry, we won't stand by and do nothing. Lin Qi comforted. After seeing both of them make their stance clear, the three of them turned to look at me. If I were awake, I would save you. Have you eaten yet? I'm about to go eat. I don't want to say anything more on this topic. With the experience from my past life, I know it's impossible for me to achieve it, and after tomorrow's graduation defense, I won't be staying in the dormitory anymore. I don't really feel like going out. Could you get me a portion instead? Looking at Lu Panner's expectant gaze, I somehow blurted out a refusal without thinking. I've finished eating and have something to do outside. I won't be back for a while. Maybe you can let Xiaoqi and Xiaowei take care of it. After saying that, I walked out of the dormitory. My mind is a complete mess right now. Why is Zheng Hui targeting me? In my previous life, she actually spoke up for me, but in this life, she's targeting me at every turn. Could it be that my previous life was just a dream? Lu Panner is also acting strange, but I can't quite put my finger on what's off. I took out my phone and called my parents. Hearing their voices, I almost burst into tears. I wanted to call last night when I woke up, but it was too late, and I was afraid of waking Lu Panner, who might have been sleepwalking. After confirming my parents were still alive, I stopped dwelling on why Zheng Hui was targeting me. Anyway, after tomorrow, I won't have any more interactions with them. I didn't return to the dorm until 11 p.m. and the others were already in bed. After confirming that my graduation thesis and defense were in order, I packed up and climbed into bed to sleep. Based on past experience, Lu Panner would sleepwalk only once every 2 or 3 months. I thought nothing would happen tonight. Clang! The sharp sound of metal scraping against metal, and the noise of a knife striking the iron bars of the bed woke me up. I nervously looked toward the staircase. Under the moonlight, I could faintly see a dark figure over there. Someone entered the dorm. Clang! Another deafening boom. I clutched the blanket tightly, afraid to move too much, yet still curled up into a ball. In my previous life, when I took Lu Panner to the hospital, Zheng Hui and Lin Qi were still living in the dorm. I haven't heard anything about a thief breaking into the dormitory at night. Another thing differs from the previous life. Could it really have been just a dream? Clang! The knocking grew louder, even causing the bed to shake slightly. I immediately realized something was wrong. If it were a thief trying to steal or kill, why would they make such a loud noise? And why were the other 3 completely silent? The light-colored curtain swayed slightly. Someone outside was pulling on it. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would leap out of my throat. Yet I didn't dare move a muscle, fingers tightly gripping the corner of the quilt, pretending to be fast asleep, leaving only a narrow slit of an eye, enough to see outside, yet not enough to be noticed. The next second, a hand reached in, slowly lifting open my bed curtain. I saw it was Lou Panner. Her eyes tightly shut. She was holding a fruit knife in her hand. She groped around my bedside with her hand, feeling nothing but air after a few attempts. Her hand reached upward again. Terrified, I pulled my entire leg up further, stood up, and pressed myself against the wall. I was ready to jump off the head of the bed once Lou Panner climbed onto it. Just as I was about to jump down, Lou Panner frowned tightly and said unhappily, "The watermelons here are too small." She turned around and climbed onto Lin Chi's bed. I was just about to open my mouth to wake Lin Chi, but I couldn't speak at all. What if I wake up Lin Chi and Lou Panner at the same time? Then I would just be repeating what happened in my previous life. But if I don't wake Lin Chi, what if she gets killed? Two little people inside my heart are fighting. One said I didn't wake up last night, but nothing happened in the end. Another said, what if something went wrong? Just as I hesitated, Lou Panner's voice sounded again. "This watermelon is really big and round. It must be very sweet. Cut it into 4 pieces and take it back to the dorm to share." The sound was quite loud in the silent environment. And I suddenly calmed down completely. The noise made by Lou Panner was not small. So why didn't Zhang Hui and Lin Chi wake up? It was as if this sound was meant to wake me up. I didn't move at all, continuing to stare in the direction of the sound. Thunk. The sound of a knife plunging into the wooden board echoed. Why is this watermelon still moving? I need to secure it properly, so it won't be cut crooked. Lou Panner released the knife handle and slowly moved toward Zhang Hui's bed, muttering to herself, "This watermelon rind is too thick. I need to peel it." Lin Chi still hadn't woken up, not even a mumbled dream utterance. Lou Panner made quite a bit of noise. Yet why hadn't either of them woken? Thunk. The knife plunged into the wooden board again. Damn watermelon. Stop moving around. I don't know if it's Lin Chi waking up and moving her head, or if Lou Panner didn't hit the right spot. But now I finally realize what's strange. Lou Panner never made such a big commotion when she sleepwalked before. It feels almost intentional now. She first checked my bed curtain to confirm I was awake, then went to stab Lin Chi with a knife, trying to force me to wake up by using this life-threatening situation. In the previous life, Lou Panner was not innocent. Even her dazed state was likely faked. Only a doctor would fail to notice why she's so dazed. What about Zhang Hui and Lin Chi? How much do these two know? Why didn't they wake up with all this commotion? Finally got it. The sound of the blade piercing flesh echoed, and my heart leapt again. Could I have been wrong? I thought nothing would happen, just like last night. My hand, which wanted to pull back the bed curtain, stopped. No. Lin Chi couldn't have not woken up after being stabbed. Lou Panner is still trying to provoke me into awakening her. This watermelon looks really sweet. Let's share this piece with Xiaomian. Give this to Xiaowei. Give this to Xiaoqi. Lou Panner kept dividing the watermelon for more than 10 minutes. Still in the process, I became even more certain that she was pretending, perhaps realizing I wasn't falling for it. She changed targets and climbed onto my bed. I instinctively wanted to jump out of bed and run away. But then I'd have no explanation tomorrow. Should I pretend to sleepwalk and leave? The thought had barely formed when I broke out in a cold sweat. If Lou Panner's goal is to prevent me from passing the national exam, my tactic of pretending to sleepwalk won't work either. The moment she climbed onto my bed, I turned on my phone's video recording and placed it by the bedside. I curled my entire body under the blanket, betting that Lou Panner wouldn't dare to actually harm me. I tucked my head into my chest, leaving only my back facing upward. Once the knife pierced my quilt, I could no longer care so much. This watermelon is so round and big. Lou Panner's hand touched my back, and her knife glided over it, even through the quilt. I could still feel the knife. My whole body tensed up. I regretted not realizing earlier that Lou Panner was acting strangely. If only I hadn't stayed in the dormitory tonight. The watermelon is so big. Lou Panner started talking again, even stabbing her knife into my quilt. I didn't care anymore and tried to jump out. The knife stopped again, and I felt the bedboard shake slightly. Lou Panner left my bed. I remained curled up, unable to sleep until dawn. After Lu Panner climbed into her own bed, I picked up my phone to check. In the darkness, Lu Panner's eyes were still half closed. At that moment, I became even more certain that Lu Panner had done it on purpose. Ring ring ring. Lin Chi's alarm clock kept ringing for a long time, but no one turned it off. Until the alarm stopped. There was no movement outside. That's when I realized something was wrong. Lin Chi, even if she was pretending to sleep, couldn't have deliberately missed the defense. I didn't wake them directly, but went to call the dormitory supervisor. The supervisor called out to them several times, but couldn't wake them up. Finally, I called 120 to send them to the hospital for emergency treatment. I told my counselor about this, and she told me to go to the defense first, and she would follow up on the rest. I absent-mindedly completed the graduation defense that I had not finished in my previous life. After leaving the defense classroom, I called my parents to pick me up. I dare not stay in this dormitory anymore. It wasn't until noon that I received a call from my counselor. That's when I found out that Lu Panner had mistakenly taken sleeping pills instead of cold medicine yesterday. As for Lin Chi and Zheng Hui, no one knows why they accidentally took sleeping pills. At this moment, I suddenly felt grateful that I didn't return to the dormitory until 11 p.m. last night. Otherwise, I might very well have been falsely accused of being the one who drugged someone. After packing my luggage, I left with my parents. Before leaving, I specifically went to the dormitory supervisor's office to record the surveillance footage of my departure and return yesterday. I got home and was still wondering why Lu Panner would do such a thing. She deliberately ruined her graduation defense. Unable to obtain her diploma. Exam preparation is a serious matter, and one can't afford to have sleepwalking. But she never went to see a doctor, and we in the dormitory wouldn't say much about it either. From the very beginning, she had planned to conceal her intention when applying for the civil service exam. Are you worried that I might report her? No, that's not it. Then why aren't you worried about Lin Chi? And why is Zheng Hui targeting me? She never took the civil service exam, and I have no conflicts of interest with her. If Lu Panner did it on purpose, then everything in my previous life was a conspiracy. Is this conspiracy to make me marry her brother and take over my family's legacy? Or is it to make me fail the civil service interview? Before I could sort everything out, I was reported. I was reported right after my interview results came out, confirming that I was ranked first. Someone reported me to my unit, accusing me of murdering my roommate. When I was being investigated, I found out that someone had blamed me for Lin Chi and Zheng Hui taking sleeping pills and missing their graduation defense. The dormitory supervisor surveillance footage was lost, and I suddenly felt relieved that I had recorded it back then. I thought it was Lu Panner who had reported me. I submitted the surveillance footage I had taken, along with the secretly recorded video of Lu Panner holding a knife that night, to the inspection team and the police. Only then did I realize that it wasn't Lu Panner who reported me at all. Lin Chi, or Zheng Hui. Lin Chi came in third, just missing the mark. If I get reported successfully, then she might be able to take my place. But I never expected that the one who reported me was Zheng Hui. I remembered what Lin Chi had said back in the dormitory. Lin Chi knew the reason why Zheng Hui suddenly targeted me. I arranged to meet Lin Chi at the coffee shop, and as soon as she saw me, she asked with concern, "I heard you were reported." "Yes. They said I was the one who put the sleeping pills in your drink." The results of the investigation haven't been announced yet, and Lu Panner's situation is still uncertain. I wanted to test what role Lin Chi played in this matter. "It wasn't me who reported you." Lin Chi frowned, explaining, "I believe that incident has nothing to do with you. Do you need me to testify for you? If necessary, I might have to trouble you." I picked up the coffee in front of me, took a sip, and asked, "Last time you said, what was the reason Zheng Hui targeted me? Do you suspect that Zheng Hui reported you?" Lin Chi stared at me, as if weighing her words for a long time before whispering, "Zheng Hui likes Lu Tianyu from the computer science department. But Lu Tianyu likes you." "Lu Tianyu? I don't even know him." I thought for a long time but couldn't recall who this person was. "Lu, could it be related to Lu Panner?" "I don't know. I just heard it from Zheng Hui. But she probably wouldn't report you for something like this. Right. It might not even be her who reported it. The inspection team will investigate this matter thoroughly. Although it's inappropriate to say this. I hope you'll let me know if your situation turns out well. Lin Chi fidgeted with her hands. Conflicted. After all, if you get rejected, I'll get accepted. That way, I won't have to look for a job anymore. Alright. You should also be careful with Lu Panner. It's best not to live in the dormitory. I had originally had some doubts about Lin Chi, but after she bluntly said those words, instead, it reduced those doubts. Lin Chi paused for a moment, then nodded. Okay. We chatted a bit more, had a meal, and then went our separate ways. Watching Lin Chi board the bus back to school, my mind was still in a fog. The one with the strongest motive to harm me is Lin Chi. But this matter seems to have nothing to do with her. What exactly is Lu Panner's goal? Using such a self-destructive method just to make me marry her brother. I went back to the school once. But I didn't return to the dormitory, went directly to the counselor. It seems I was reported by Lu Tianyu from the computer science department in the national exam. I'm quite sure I haven't met him since starting university. Can I find out where he's from? My college entrance exam score was the highest in my class, and I was the class monitor in my freshman year, getting along well with the counselor. He said this with a hint of helplessness in his tone. Upon hearing this, the counselor paused for a moment, adjusted his glasses, and a look of understanding mixed with complexity appeared on his face. Lu Tianyu, I think I know the reason. What reason? I hadn't expected the counselor to know. He's Lin Chi's cousin. Earlier, I happened to see Lin Chi's mother dropping them off at the school gate and overheard their conversation. The counselor paused and did not elaborate further on the relationship between Lu Tianyu and Lin Chi. I will help you explain to the complaint reviewer that the sleeping pill incident has nothing to do with you. Thank you, teacher. It wasn't until I walked out of the office that I felt a chill run down my spine. Lin Chi knew me too well, which is why she deliberately said that if I failed to be selected, she would have a chance. The more open she is, the less I suspect her. Yet she hasn't been honest about Lu Tianyu being her cousin. If it weren't for the counselor accidentally finding out that Lu Tianyu is her cousin, I would definitely suspect Zheng Hui and Lu Panner as the masterminds behind it. But why would Lu Panner help Lin Chi? My family background is not the most prominent among the three of us. So why must I be chosen? Because of my video. Lu Panner was taken away by the police for questioning. She claimed she was sleepwalking and had no idea what had happened. Since no casualties were caused, she was ultimately only ordered to undergo regular professional psychological and psychiatric treatment. With no immediate accountability, Lu Panner called to confront me as soon as she came out. Why did you record and report me? You've ruined me. From now on, my medical records will be marked with sleepwalking. And I won't be able to work in many jobs that require checking medical history. You were the one who drugged Lin Chi and the others, then reported it as my doing. I just provided the recording to prove it wasn't me. It wasn't me. What would I gain from reporting you? Yet you have to harm me like this. You could have just woken me up. But you insisted on recording a video. Over the phone. Lu Panner's voice was sharp and aggrieved. A stark contrast to the eerie figure she had been while wandering with a knife last night. This kind of twisting of the truth is something I've never seen before. Wake you up. And then what? What if you were still in a trance? I already said I won't blame you. But that person didn't say it that way. That night you climbed onto the sink just to make me see you were in danger so I would save you. Right. Ignoring the silence on the other end of the phone, I continued. If that person hadn't accidentally let it slip while calling home, and I hadn't overheard by chance, I would never have known you were trying to harm me like this. Don't worry. You won't get away with it. The police will investigate everything you've done to me. I didn't. Lu Panner's voice grew weak, clearly lacking confidence. Then, with a humble yet shrill retort. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not targeting you. You have. You want me to wake you up, then pretend to be disoriented, so that your whole family blames me, and then make me marry into your family to serve all of you, so that I have no way to compete anymore. Whatever you say. The police already know about this. You're out of time. You're still foolishly trying to hide it. Either you didn't put the sleeping pills in, or that person did. She knew the plan wouldn't work. So she's trying to throw you under the bus and make you my scapegoat. If I were you, I'd go to the police station and confess everything. Sleepwalking isn't a crime, but drugging someone is. After saying that, I hung up the phone directly, from the phone call just now. I've already confirmed that there's someone else behind Lu Panner. I'm not sure if it was Lin Chi who planned everything, or maybe it was just a coincidence that Zheng Hui fell for Lu Tianyu. That's why I spoke ambiguously. I thought Lu Panner would be tricked by me into going to the I station to confess everything, or at least go confront that person and have a fight. But I didn't expect she would only take in my words. There's not enough time. The next morning, I received a call from Lin Chi. Xiaomian, something happened in the dorm. What's going on? Panner almost jumped off the building last night. Zheng Hui woke up and saved her. But unexpectedly, Panner lost her mind completely. Her family is now blocking Zheng Hui, demanding she pay with her life. Lin Chi's voice on the phone was panicked and trembling, mixed with the distant clamor of arguments. The chaotic scene could be clearly felt even through the radio waves. My heart sank. I never expected Lu Panner's obsession with finding a wife for her brother would run so deep. Panner came back yesterday and had a big argument with Zheng Hui. They were still fighting before bedtime. I had an interview today, so I slept with earplugs. I never imagined something like this would happen last night. Lin Chi sighed in relief, a bit embarrassed as she said, I know it might sound a bit unkind to think this way, but if I hadn't worn earplugs last night, I might have gotten dragged into it too. Call the police. This is clearly suspicious. They just had a fight. And Lu Panner got into trouble right after. Calling the police might not be a good idea. Lin Chi's voice dropped even lower as angry shouts continued to echo down the hallway. It's better to resolve this kind of matter privately. Otherwise it could affect Panner and Xiao Hui. In my previous life, I thought the same way, believing that I had harmed Lu Panner. It could be settled privately. But it was also this fear of trouble that led to the later tragedy. Lu Panner could feign stupidity and deceive the doctor because all she had to do was act slow-witted during the doctor's examination. Is it because you're afraid of affecting Panner and Xiao Hui? Or because you're afraid of affecting yourself? From the moment Zheng Hui was involved in the incident, I was certain that the mastermind behind it was Lin Chi. If Lu Panner wanted revenge, she wouldn't use this old trick. It could only be that she wanted to quickly trick a wife for her brother because there wasn't enough time. Additionally, Lin Chi once again candidly spoke about her dark side, and revealed that Lu Panner and Zheng Hui had an argument. They are all telling me that she is innocent. After I exposed Lu Panner went to confront the mastermind behind it. What are you talking about, Xiaomian? Lin Chi asked. Puzzled. You had already chosen a scapegoat from the beginning. After I didn't fall for Lu Panner's trap, you started revealing to me that Zheng Hui had a reason to target me. Xiaomian, I only said it because you asked me. How come it's now me who revealed it? Lin Chi let out a helpless laugh. You just didn't expect me to know that Lu Tianyu is your cousin. The laughter on the other end of the phone suddenly vanished, leaving only a tense silence. A few seconds later, Lin Chi's tone completely lost its earlier panic and innocence, becoming calm and cold. You're wrong. He's not my cousin's, my half-brother from my father's second marriage. Why? Just because of a civil service position. Yes, just because of a civil service position. You ranked first in the written exam. And your interview performance was solid. I couldn't compete with you for this civil service role. Lin Chi admitted frankly, a hint of unwillingness in his voice. You're truly insane. As long as you're gone, I can secure my spot. Why did Lu Panner help you? Because I accidentally let it slip to her that your family is wealthy. You're an only child. And you're smart. So your genes for having children must be great. Aren't you afraid I'll go to the police and tell them everything you've said? Call the police. I only said a few words. The rest I don't know and wasn't involved. Besides, Lu Panner is about to die. Forced to death by you. She thought you'd call the police. So she wanted to end it before the truth came out. Lin Chi's words hadn't finished when commotion was heard from the other side. Hands up. Don't move. Call an ambulance quickly. There's an injured person here. Bleeding heavily. Did you call the police? The chaotic sounds from the other end of the phone pierced through the receiver shouts. Cries for help. And hurried footsteps mingling together, causing Lin Chi's panicked question to abruptly cut off. Lin Chi never called me again. Later, I learned the truth from the counselor. Lu Panner's family demanded compensation from Zheng Hui, claiming that she had intentionally awakened Lu Panner, causing her to lose her mind, and insisted that Zheng Hui marry into the Lu family to serve Lu Panner. When the two families were at an impasse, the dazed Lu Panner suddenly acted like a madwoman, slashing her own pulse with a knife. Fortunately, the police arrived quickly, and she was rescued in time, with no danger to her life. In the end, the investigation revealed that Lu Panner had been faking her mental state, intending to find a wife for her brother who lived in the mountains. She said Lin Chi hinted to her that I was going to expose her sleepwalking condition. Once this matter is exposed, she won't be able to work in many positions. Her brother originally wanted to wait for her to earn money to save up for a wife. Lin Chi admitted it, only saying that she had overheard it by chance and wanted Lu Panner to be more careful herself, and not to lie if it really came to an investigation. Just as she said on the phone, she only spoke a few words. She didn't participate in any of the plans. This outcome left me unsatisfied. Even though Lin Chi was behind all of this, she couldn't be convicted. In the end, only Lu Panner was sentenced to 3 years. I deleted the contact information of everyone in the dorm. I also stopped trying to find out any news about them. Until one day, when I came home from work, I unexpectedly saw an acquaintance downstairs in front of my building. Lu Panner's mother. The scene of being forced by her in the previous life resurfaced again. I felt both fear and anger in my heart. Little girl, are you going to throw water? Give it to me. She looked at the half-empty water bottle in my hand with longing. A greed in her eyes I was all too familiar with. They hadn't let me go yet, using a new tactic against me. No way, Auntie. This bottle is one I just picked up. I am going to sell it for money. Selling bottles for money, Lu Panner's mother exclaimed, her kind expression crumbling instantly. Yeah, I got sick and racked up a huge medical bill. Now, every little bit I can earn helps. Sick. In debt. The greed in Lu Panner's mother's eyes turned to disdain. She spat and was about to turn away. I picked up the phone and said loudly, Mom, I've already said I won't call Lin Chi to borrow money, even though she's my roommate and her family is wealthy. We've had a falling out. She's the one who got Panner sent to prison. I'd rather die from illness than take her money. I watched as Panner's mother stopped in her tracks, pricking up her ears to eavesdrop. After confirming she had heard, I turned and headed home. It wasn't until I saw the news 2 months later that I heard about Lin Chi again. She was framed by the Lu family. Lu Panner's mother used the same trick from 2 months ago on Lin Chi's mother. After drinking the water bottle handed to her by Lin Chi's mother, she fell to the ground poisoned. Lu Panner's mother then demanded a huge sum of 5 million as extortion. Lin Chi's stepfather, unwilling to pay, wanted to divorce Lin Chi's mother. Finally, Lu Panner's mother suggested that if they couldn't come up with the money, they could use Lin Chi to settle the debt. Lin Chi recognized this as Lu Panner's mother and threatened to report her for extortion. The Lu family was arrested, and Lin Chi's mother was also taken into custody. Mrs. Lu also accused Lin Chi's mother of poisoning, originally intending to resolve the matter with money, but unexpectedly ended up being sued, because the water bottle was handed to Lu's mother by Lin Chi's mother herself. She was found guilty of poisoning by the judge. Lin Chi had just passed the civil service exam interview, but was disqualified because Lu's mother was involved in a criminal case.